Good morning, I am John Salvador P. Ibasco, B.Ed 2. Today, I am going to discuss human development, meaning, concept, and approaches. Let's define first the growth. It refers to changes in physical attributes of a person. Example, height, weight, size, and length. It is quantitative. Pag sinabing quantitative, it refers to numbers. Like for example, nung bata pa ako ay 20 kilos lang ako. Ngayon, 40 kilos na ako. Yan ang sinasabing quantitative. From 20 kilos to 40 kilos, nagkaroon ng changes sa growth ko. Next is the human development. It refers to overall pattern of movement or change, such as the physical, cognitive, psychosocial that begins at conception and continues through the lifespan. It is both quantitative and qualitative according to Suntrack 2002. Magkaiba ang human development sa growth. Kung ang growth nangyayari lamang sa physical attributes, ang human development ay sa lahat. At nangyayari ito mula conception hanggang sa lifespan o habang buhay. Both quantitative at qualitative ang human development dahil sa physical attributes, more on numbers, samantalang sa cognitive, hindi naman natin ma-measure ang changes. There are two approaches to human development. First, traditional approach. Focus almost exclusively on the changes occurring from conception to adolescence and the gradual decline in old age. Nasabi dito na ang changes ay nangyayari lamang mula conception to adolescence. At sinasabi din dito na habang tumatanda, pakonti ng pakonti ang nangyayaring changes sa kanila or maybe wala nang changes. And the second approach is lifespan approach. Believes that even in adulthood, development change takes place as it does in childhood. It was developed by Paul Badtest. Sa lifespan approach naman, naniniwala na hanggang sa pagtanda, patuloy pa rin ang changes. There are key principles in lifespan approach. First, development occurs in lifelong. Second, development is multidimensional. Third, development is multidirectional. Fourth, development is plastic. Fifth, development is influenced by contextual and socio-cultural influences. There are three types of influences that operate throughout the life course. First, normative age-graded influences. These are those biological and environmental factors such as puberty and menopause. Second, normative history-graded influences. These are associated with a specific time period. Third, non-normative influences. These are unpredictable and not tied to a certain developmental time in a person's development. And the last principle is development is multidisciplinary. There are some major principles of human development. First, development occurs in a relatively orderly sequence. It indicates that development happens in an organized and predictable manner, a series of steps that generally take place after one another. The pattern is similar, cephalocaudal pattern. It is where the greatest development takes place at the top of the body. Example, head and physical development moves gradually downwards. Example, neck, shoulder, trunk. it applies to the development of fetus. The next pattern is proximodistal pattern. It is where the growth starts at the center of the body and moves towards the extremities. The second major principle, the outcomes of developmental processes and the rate of development are likely to vary among individuals. The third is development takes place gradually. Fourth, development as a process is complex. There are principles of child development and learning that inform practice. Number 1, all areas of development and learning are important. Number 2, learning and development follow sequences. 3, development and learning proceed at varying rates. Number 4, development and learning result from interaction of maturation and experiences. 5, early experiences have profound effects on development and learning. Number 6, development proceed toward greater complexity, self-regulation, and symbolic or representational capacities. 7, children develop best when they have secure relationships. Number 8, development and learning occur in and are influenced by multiple social and cultural contexts. Number 9, children learn in a variety of ways. Number 10, play is an important vehicle for developing self-regulation and promoting language, cognition, and social competence. Number 11, development and learning advance when children are challenged. Number 12, children's experiences shape their motivation and approaches to learning. When we say cohort, it is the group of people who are born at roughly the same time period in a particular society. Self-regulation theory. It is the system of conscious personal management that involves the process of guiding one's own thoughts, behaviors, and feelings to reach goals. Selective optimization with compensation. It is a lifespan model of psychological and behavioral management for adaptation to changes related to human development and for adaptation to age-related gains and losses. Social emotional. It includes the child's experience, expressions, and management of emotion in the ability to establish positive and rewarding relationship with others. Okay, the next topic that I'm going to discuss is about stages of development and developmental tasks. Dito, tatalakayin ko kung ano nga bang iba't ibang stages of development. Kasi hindi pwede na fully develop tayo without the stages. Tatalakayin din natin dito kung ano-ano nga ba yung mga task na ginagawa natin sa kada stages. There are 6 periods. First period is infancy and early childhood, from birth till 6 years. Sa period na ito, ang sanggol ay inaasahang matuto maglakad, kumain ng solid food, at magsalita. In early childhood, they are learning to use the comfort room. And they learn sex differences, and they learn to form concept and learning language, and they getting ready to read. The second period is middle childhood, from 6 to 12 years old. In this period, they are learning physical skills, learning to get along with age mates. Nade-develop na nila ang kanilang konsensya at moral values. Learning an appropriate masculine or feminine social role. Developing fundamental skills in reading, writing, and calculating. Developing concepts and achieving personal independence. They are achieving new and more mature relations with age mates. Achieving a masculine or feminine social role. Accepting one's physique and using the body effectively. They are achieving emotional independence and preparing for marriage. The fourth period is early adulthood, from 19 to 30 years old. They select a mate, achieving a masculine or feminine social role, learning to live with a marriage partner, starting a family, rearing children, managing a home, getting occupation, taking civic responsibility. The fifth period, middle age, from 30 to 60 years old. In this stage, they are achieving adult civic and social responsibility, establishing and maintaining an economic standard of living, assisting teenager to become responsible, developing adult leisure time act, accepting and adjusting to the physiologic changes or middle age. In the last period is late adulthood, from 60 and over, adjusting to developing physical strength and health, adjusting to retirement and reduced income, adjusting to death of a spouse, establishing an explicit affiliation with one's age group, meeting social and civil obligation, establishing satisfactory physical living arrangement. Ontogeny, also ontogenesis, is the origination and development of an organism's both physical and psychological. Example, moral development. Usually from the time of fertilization of the egg to adult. The teratogen is any agent that causes an abnormality following fetal exposure during pregnancy. The last topic that I'm going to discuss is about issue of human development. Let's go first to nature and nurture. The side of nature is heredity plays the most important role in bringing about the future. The side of nurture is one's environment is most significant in shaping the way we are. Next is continuity versus discontinuity. Stage theories of discontinuity development assume that developmental change often occurs in distinct stages that are qualitatively different from each other and in a set universal sequence. At each stage of development, children and adults have different qualities and characteristics. Continuous development would see the adult as not possessing new skills, but more advanced skills that were already present in some form in the child. Next is stability versus change. Stability implies that personality traits present in childhood persist throughout life. Change contended that interactions with family, experiences at school, and acculturation shape personality. Next is active versus passive. Active beings are the prime determiners of their own abilities and traits. UJ believed that children actively explore their world and construct new ways of thinking to explain the things they experience. Passive beings whose characteristics are molded either by social influences like parents, other significant people, and outside events, or by biological changes beyond their control.